Jinx here for Complex News. This Wednesday we traveled to Sunrise, Florida, to the Florida Panther Stadium, the site of the funeral and the fan memorial for the late XXXTentacion. Born Jesse Dwayne Onfroy, he was fatally shot on Monday, June 18th, while leaving a motorsports dealership in Deerfield Beach, Florida. The rapper rose to fame and infamy over the course of the last 2 years due to a combination of a string of viral hits, a captivating online presence, as well as multiple violent crimes acted out on others, including physical and mental abuse of an ex-girlfriend. This very public polarization took on new life after his was taken, with commentary breaking out on both social media and an editorial that highlight the extremes of his life spectrum. When word of his shooting and his resulting death spread, the reactions were varied and visceral. There was commentary that expressed deep sadness and loss, with many fans voicing their hurt via long posts on social media, uploads of imagery and videos of them crying, trips to his makeshift memorial at the site of his death, and heartfelt tributes to the slain artist. On the other end, there was a ton of criticism toward both his abhorrent and lengthy violent ledger, and the people who support him despite these distressing facts. More than a few individuals took to celebrating his death, condemning his life choices, and mocking his army of fans and their pain. If we're being honest here, XXX in his life, brief career, and ultimately his death became a phenomenon unlike any we've seen in our current landscape. Someone as beloved as he was despised, someone known as much for his perceived disregard for human life as he was for his perceived care for others and ability to reach them. It's hard to find a point of comparison or even the words to grasp the extreme feelings he garnered from the world outside. With all that said, I sat outside his memorial to speak with his fervent fans who showed up, but what I estimate to be the thousands, to the last physical appearance of XXXTentacion. For many of them, it was their first time actually seeing him in real life, and for some, their first funeral. What I saw was a ton of kids and young adults from various walks of life, many of them hurting, confused, in disbelief, and also a sense of curiosity, nonchalance, the inability to articulate, quantify, or qualify their thoughts. I questioned them about why they chose to attend the memorial, what they expected, how they were dealing with his passing, and also how they reconcile their fandom with his very inignorable, publicized track record of violence. And finally, asked them to speculate on his legacy both in their own minds and the world at large. Here's what they had to say.
When I found X, I had just been released from the hospital. I was 15 years old, dealing with an illness that was killing me. And that's when I found his music, and ever since then, there was just something about him. He changed my life. In a way, I could say that he saved my life, because his music has stopped me from killing myself, from doing so many stupid things because of his words. And he's opened my mind to so many different perspectives and so many different kinds of people, and yeah, it just, it hurts.
How are you feeling?
Just there's no words, really. You know, and I didn't really know him very well, but his music, it kind of just, it changed how you think and how you feel. And it helped people with depression, heartbreak, everything. And he was just different, you know? He was the only artist that really talked about his feelings. And for the next generation, he was such a big impact, especially for us. It's crazy.
What were your thoughts when you first heard the news?
I didn't believe it. I don't want to believe it. I swear to God, I've laid in my room and cried about X.
Why?
His music, just the words, it's so different than all the other music. Rappers write about so many different things, but X is so relatable.
He opened up the door to speak more about mental illness than most artists would. Because I know back when Cudi was going through his depression stage or whatever, it was there, but no one really acknowledged it that much. But as you can see, X opened that door, and now people are walking through it, and they're going through their depression, but they have something with them to go. They have X to stand there. Yeah, he really did. He changed it all. He changed it for everybody.
How do you guys find place for the wrong things, the critiques on his past, his violent past, his police charges, the things that are very public about him, but then also his stardom, his celebrity, and what people are feeling as charity?
If you're from Florida, you know how these kids come out the hood and out of trouble homes, mothers in and out of their lives. Everybody has their different paths. His was in the light, so more people noticed or got to see his struggle more than his glory.
What I see and what I believe, I see a lot of older people, they only see like the bad doing he did, but for me, I believe he was a gift from God because it showed the good and bad in a human being.
Why don't you talk about the good things? Why don't you talk about the things that he actually did? Maybe if you talk about those things, you would realize that the bad things that he's done was very little.
People just misinterpreted him. Like, people just looked at him as somebody that was psychotic, emo, suicidal, and it's like, it's not even that. Like, when you really get to hear him out and listen to his music, you understand that this is a person, he's human just like the rest of us, and he's somebody that was hurting, like he was dealing with a lot, and music was his way to let it all out.
I am definitely not okay with like some of the things he's been accused over. I know a lot of people are going to get hung up on that, and I was hung up on that for a long time before I ever decided to like give his music a chance. And once I did, I mean, you realize like this was a real breathing person. He wasn't just like a violent being who just came through, caused destruction and riots and left. It's the past, and yes, it defines us, but he was a literal kid when that happened. Like, he could have had an opportunity to become someone great, and now we're never gonna know. He had that opportunity taken away. He did not get an opportunity to be a better person.
He's definitely showing that he changed a lot. Like, I feel like people always just look at like the bad things that X has done, but I feel like he's definitely changed for Broward and for the children and for everything. I mean, I'm young and I understand that. I hope other people see that.
And I'm the type of person that has to grow to forgive people, you know, and I believe that X has definitely earned his forgiveness. He's definitely a charitable person. He's been, you know, making a difference in the local community here in Broward and doing outreach in other places. And, you know, sometimes we gotta just be able to move forward from certain situations. I believe if the victim of the situation is able to forgive the aggressor of the situation, then we as people and we as fans should be able to move forward as well.
What do you make of today?
Honestly, it's a somber day, but this is more of a celebration, I see, than a viewing or a moment of sadness, because if you see people here, you automatically feel happy. This girl actually just gave me this picture right now of X, and it's just a picture to remind you that, you know, everything is all good, man. It's just everyone's gonna have bad times, and it's unfortunate that this happened, but we all gotta love each other. That's all it is at the end of the day. We all gotta love each other.
You were handing out photos of X?
Yes, I was. This is just a really funny photo of him, and it makes people smile.
Yeah.
So I wrote some messages on the back to keep people positive.
What do you think his absence means?
It means nothing, because his legacy will live forever. We will riot for him. We will continue his legacy forever. Forever. It means nothing.
What would you say his impact was on not just Broward, but like music?
I think he had an impact on the world. I honestly think he died a legend. Straight from Broward County. He had a huge positive impact on the world, and there's things that people exploit at the same time, negative things that he did, but I mean, we can't dwell on that shit. He also did positive shit.
His legacy is his music, his words, the way he spoke about people, his charities. It's like people are gonna use that as motivation to be better. And the fact that, you know, our youth and our generation is looked at as, you know, like chaotic, he's proof that we're not all bad youth.
I've said it before, everyone knows X has like the biggest cult following, and it's because of how much inspiration he strikes in people. And now he's a symbol for all of the hurt that people go through. When I heard of his death, the first thing I thought was, like, if you thought it was a cult before, all you need is a martyr.